Christopher Columbus, known in deeper understanding of the complexities of exploration and the enduring impact of his journeys. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through the life and legacy of Christopher Columbus. If you found this exploration of history engaging, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth stories from the past. Until next time, continue to explore and question the world around you.